The Bowser administration is sponsoring two seminars designed to aid women business owners in D.C. during Women's History Month, with one focusing on grants and taxes and the other one on home ownership. The event contributes to the economic progress in the District of Columbia, and it definitely helps the residents of the nation's capital, and there are many examples that can be cited. It is a high-impact event, and it establishes fairness because grants are distributed based on merits, not based on favoritism. It reflects how local governments can add positively to the U.S. economy. The seminars are about the tips that can make a business successful. It integrates well the different ethnic groups living in D.C. For sure, women business ownership is transforming the communities of Washington, D.C.
We see legislation passed all the time about about child tax credits, but not a lot of news was about the capital tax credits the Republicans put in to help business owners. What I see from this seminar is for us to be able to benefit regardless who's in the White House, regardless who has control of Congress. We need to make sure that when legislation passes, that we get the most out of it as well. We're not scared to pursue opportunities. So without taking too much time, I want to present Ursula and Jesse. Thank you. From Prudential Financial Services to talk about taxes as well, because this is what makes millionaires stay millionaires and what makes billionaires stay billionaires. So please, Jesse, without further ado.
Thank you, Reverend. So I'll quickly introduce Jesse, but the first thing I would say to you is we're financial planners. And every time we say we want to talk about taxes, the first question we get asked is, are you CPAs? So you need to understand the difference between what we do and what CPAs do. CPAs are like backward looking. What you've already done, that's what they report to the government. But what we do is we look forward, ahead, strategizing and ensuring that you have your maximum deductions. And that's what you should really be focusing on in terms of making, saving a lot of money for your business.
Come by way of public service, stakeholder engagement, and comms for the Office of State's Attorney, Prince George's County. And what's fascinating to me is that sustainability is so broad and it's so big and it's so much opportunity for us. Oftentimes, you'll see that, people who are making decisions about us, where we live, our property, and projects, don't look like us. And so I'll repeat this. If you are not at the table, you own the table. I often hear people talk about, well, build your own table. We should, but we should also, somebody say also be at the table and be a part of those important conversations, because I've been in many different talks and conferences, and I always say, we don't want a hand out, we want a hand up. We want to be there. We're not infants. And so as we are making this energy transition, which is coming, we are becoming electrified. It sounds pretty crazy, right? But we're going from gas and natural resources to electric. Whether it's cars, EV stations are popping up everywhere, which is a great thing. We can have access to that important source. And so, again, sustainability, green, resilience. These are some terms. I had to upgrade my terms. And when I did, I saw a whole host of opportunities. So I just want to leave you all with that today. So whether it is small business finance, whether it is employment, whether it is community development, and in particular, as sustainability seeks to grow, to include things like ESG and DI, it is an opportunity. And none of us want to see any of us be left behind. So remember that partnership means progress, it means prosperity, and my slide, let me keep this here. Those of you all who want information, I have cards for you. I'm trying to flip this thing. Well, U.S. Green Building Council, before I even learn, and to share a bit more about what we're doing. So we are the global leader in green building, and you can join our community, you can connect with me, and those of you all who are interested in finding out more about how to be empowered during this energy transition, look out and look up and stand by and make sure you connect with me so we can make this transition easier and more equitable and prosperous for us all. So we're not on the table, we're what? At the table. Amen.
So looking to see if we even fit into what he's asked for is the first thing. Apply it, got it, get the money, and we always implement with what we put in the budget that we do. Mm-hmm. For us, it's easy. We're in the medical field, and so what we say we will do with it is what we will do with it. We have one that we have to execute this coming weekend, and we get the supplies, and we do the info. So in our field, it's easier, I think.
Okay. And to that point, one of the things that we like in the federal government are people who we know are good for it, just like any relationship. And what I mean by that is that if we have someone who's applying again for another grant, we know them, we have a relationship with them. And so one of the most important things that you want to do prior to applying for a grant, because what most people do, I won't say most people, but the people who don't get the money, they apply when they see that they have a week left. It takes about, it can take up to 2 months to write a proper grant. But now you have ChatGPT and whatever. But like, as a review specialist, we see that. We're like, okay, this person is not serious and we can't give you the money. But to the sister here and what she was speaking about, I imagine that because you won money once, it's easier to get it a second time and then on and on and on. And that's the ideal situation when it comes to getting money. You want it to be reoccurring, and why? So that you can plan for the future. Unfortunately, I'm from St. Louis, inner city, north side, pretty gangster over there, and we don't seize the opportunities that we get, and it's largely because we're not aware. And so one of the things that my agency is doing in terms of raising awareness is that we are focused on certain communities. I don't know who the sister was when she was up here, but she was speaking about how this money is going to run out.